a lot of things I didn't. I'm listening to it because I can't even listen to UFC or football anymore in the shower. So I just go ahead and revisit my videos, find mistakes and stuff. I'm a little more awake. But when we talked about Nick Saban and the Ghost in the Machine mystery, yeah, right there. Right there. University of Florida just hired their 7th head coach since Steve Spurrier. Right here. Championship victory and his 8th overall, the 7th. Talking about Nick Saban. This, if he wins, this will be his 7th national championship at Alabama, the Ghost in the Machine. And by the way, the iron mixing with clay, Iron Man, Ozzy Osbourne, the entities will travel from the technology and possess all goats when they worship the image of the beast. Do they have to be connected through something? People go, oh, there's a neural link. Nah. Well, it's could be the it could be the jelly, you know, it could be the pokey poke. I mean, is every goat going to have that through World War III? Or did they tell you in order to worship the image of the beast, or that you need to then get that to connect you, so when you do worship the image of the beast, in they go. There was a Netflix series called Upload. Netflix series Upload. You're going to be uploading the images, the entities into your body. I was looking at that picture, the images. And they're going to possess you, and you will become the Exorcist. You'll become Reagan in The Exorcist, straight up. Not you. You're a sheep if you're listening to this. People, mankind, goats. What about a sheep that might have taken the pokey, snokey, pokey? Nothing. They'll probably die. And it's the what makes it all toxic is the electro, right? What they call EMF, the electromagnetic field of play. That's what's toxic. I'm very, those 3 letters, sensitive. I'll get a sore throat, my nose will clog immediately touching my screen. And I've had all the metal taken out of my mouth about 1.5 years ago. And I noticed a big difference, but it's like it's back. And I think it's because it's getting stronger. The Lord made me EMF sensitive. I'm sensitive in every single way you can imagine. I get seasick. I can watch a movie and get very emotionally connected to it. Listen to music, very emotionally. I'm just a very sensitive. That's just the way the Lord made me. Very sensitive, extremely sensitive. And Karen Valentine, I kind of skipped over her. I meant to get back to her. Might have been my second crush next to this property is condemned, girl. This property is condemned. Went back and watched it just to see.
This Property is Condemned is a 1966 movie directed by Sidney Pollack.
I'm telling you straight up, Natalie Wood, man. Golly. Natalie Wood. I saw This Property is
According to
Condemned
Wikipedia,
as a kid. I saw this property is condemned as a kid. And I'm telling you what, I was like, what? But it's that Sigmund Freud stuff, because if you saw pictures of my mom, you'd be like, what that gum? She looks like your mom's sister. Then there's Karen Valentine. That's her from room 222. I was probably upper elementary school, or, but that's her name, Karen Valentine. Room 222. That's Genesis 2:22. Guarantee you. Guarantee.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
We know. Because it's all about Eve. That's why it's 2:22. I mean, come on, I was a kid. Jeez. What else did I talk about in the video? But I wish I would have stayed with it, because my mind will wander. I'll bounce from one thing to the next, and I was listening to it and I was like, oh, you drifted. You went on to the next subject with your ADHD. Another reason we know it's this year, and I showed you the 666. And another thing I forgot to talk to y'all about, you know how 7 times 6 times 1961, and I get the 666 in 2023. But y'all, that's the year of the rabbit. So you go back to Frank the Rabbit in Easter, the rabbit. Well, if it's going down at 420, I mean, that's kind of the Easter season. Good grief. Isn't it? And it's the year of the rabbit when the abomination of desolation is going to take place. Easter 2023. Well, I'll be April 9th, 11 days later, boom. Total solar eclipse. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, 11 days apart from Easter. It's the year of the rabbit, y'all. But the way, it's not just that on the transfer portal that I spoke of, that quintessential date going back and forth 465 days from when Trump said he had it over to the total solar eclipse. I mean, that's of course, the main one. It gave us the abomination of desolation. Thank you, Jesus. But the way this year's solar eclipse connects over to the snow full moon, that's how you know that it's this year's transfer portal date. Now, I'm going to go ahead on and get ahead of tomorrow's comments that are in the past, because they're all relevant. But Michael just threw out some stuff based on this video I did an hour ago. And what's so really weird is on that video titled Saturday, January 8th, and then me being quite punchy, and guess who dropped in? It was Angel White that dropped in the comments. I was really going off on Angel White being AI, and then saw that Angel White made a comment 4 hours previous. And before you can say, well, Angel White could go back and just say, I'm going to look at Google Chromebook commercials just to see if anything pops up as a human being. Folks, you got to go back to Shaking My Head Productions and watch all the TV shows and commercials. But what about this guy named Trump that said he was going to build that wall in the TV show Track Down in 1958? First of all, who designed that? Then who came up with it? I mean, do you really think somebody was sitting around going, Golly, I remember a TV show back in 1958. Really? How old are you now that your brain's going to even remember something from a TV? You think I remember a Gilligan's Island episode if somebody walked on the set and said, "I'm Donald Trump"? You know, not the Donald Trump, but if somebody came on and said, "I'm Donald Trump," and I think Gilligan and all of us, I think we need to build a wall around them. I might remember the storyline about building a wall, but I wouldn't remember if somebody's name was Donald Trump. And all of a sudden, all these sites were coming up showing the Track Down episode. Dr. Walter Trump, the con man, talking about building the wall, going to save everybody. And then he got shot during a meteor storm. So we have to look at, meteor storms, I guess. When is the next meteor shower?
According to American Meteor Society, they are called Perseids since the radiant is located near the prominent constellation of Perseus the Hero when at maximum activity. Next peak, the Perseids will next peak on the August 11 to 12, 2022 night.
Okay. Well, come August time, let's remember that.
Teacher. Concern.
Anyway, let's get back to some comments. But before we do, I mean, look how Angel White went and did that. November 8th, 2018. Well, you can say, well, they went to the Google site and the Chrome site and started just searching. I don't buy it. And it's not just Angel White, it's Shaking My Head Productions, and it's LXXVIII, Phineas Temporis. None of the three ever say a word, and they just rattle off. And they all copy them the exact same way. Down in the comments, they have bold type, and they're perfect, absolutely perfect. How they cannot get a copyright strike, and how they give, how they'd throw your term paper away if you didn't have it cited properly. They cite as if they got their doctorate in it. It's fascinating to go down and read and their descriptions. But Michael said, as a reminder, January 8th is exactly 22 weeks and 3 days. That's 223 or 322 prior to Trump's next birthday. And 22 weeks, and don't forget District 22 and the school buses, 22 weeks and 3 days after Obama's last birthday on August 4th, 2021, Obama will be speaking at Harry Mason Reed's funeral tomorrow. Ooh, what if something happens to him? Now, again, Sunday, the portal will swing from 9 to 11. Biden and Pelosi are also speaking at the funeral in Las Vegas. 2 weeks and 6 days prior to tomorrow was the PSYOP in the city that never sleeps. Pop at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. That occurred on October 1st, 2017. Another thing I was thinking about Donnie Darko. Well, if this is the overlay, how come Trump didn't die on the 2nd? Well, basically, it is a new moon this year, which I think is why they picked the 2nd. Because everything starts on a new moon. And what they're telling you is, theoretically, is that the book of Donnie Darko is opened. No, he's not going to go down on this day. But just like the movie began, You never really did see Donnie actually die until the end of the movie. And we don't know when the end of the movie is. It could be in August. I mean, as we have a meteor shower in August. But you get what I'm saying. But it began on January 2nd, 2022. Now, Nick Saban, 7th championship at Alabama, but it'll be his 8th total if he wins it. His other one, remember, there are 7 kings, 5 have fallen, and 1 is not yet coming. When he comes, he must continue a short space. And then the 8th, that is of the 7, that's the Antichrist. This is Saban's, this will be Saban's 8th if he wins it. What's so significant about that? LSU Tigers, Eye of the Tiger sits in the middle of the field. What's up, Jamie? Little shout out to Jamie in Louisiana. She was a big Tiger. I was a big Gator, and we both represent. I represent the Antichrist, and she represents the deadly wound. She's like, all roads lead to Louisiana. I'm like, you're not kidding. It's fascinating. And so, yes, the 8th, because of LSU, is because of the right eye wound. Had a deadly wound by the sword, but did live. How crazy is that? Trump's calm before the storm statement was 4 days later on 10/5/2017. Oh, boy. Wow. Okay. Okay. Now, the Angel White came on. Now, if Angel White is AI, like I definitely suspect it is, it was a 5-minute video I did that I put down in the comments for y'all in that last video. I put it down in the comments for you to click it. It was about me being absolutely sure that he's going down January 15th. I said Angel White showed it to us. And so did The Simpsons or something. I don't know. There's been another movie that had the 15th blanked out like that. The same exact way. I don't know if that's the video where I show both of them or one that came on a little bit later. Maybe y'all can backtrack and see it as a thumbnail or as a headline, you know, a title. Never forget the 222 code. Exactly 222 months after 9/11 was 3/11/2020 when the illness was declared a, you know, whole worldwide by that agency. I'm very careful, and Michael's very careful how we talk and write because he didn't want to get his stuff removed. And I don't want to get my video removed. And Michael, I will tell you that too, because it's all about Eve. That's why they timed it from 9/11 to 3/11, because it's all about Eve. The Ghost in the Machine makes sure it's all about Eve, because that's who the Ghost in the Machine, but wasn't in technology at the time. That was his partner in crime, so to speak. When you said Valentine, it makes me think of the residual evil Jill Valentine, also Umbrella Corporation, which had the, oh yeah, the T, VIRUS. Maybe the T is for Trump. Well, yes. After her experiences during the outbreak's initial stages in Raccoon City, Valentine became involved in an anti-umbrella operations and eventually captured and turned into an umbrella agent in 2012. She was freed from Red Queen's mind control and died during the attack on the White House soon after. I gotta watch that. The Umbrella Corporation. And I did refer to Room 222 as a movie after I told you it was a TV show. I heard that as an issue in the playback. Michael Jack also said Las Vegas and Clark County unveiled a statue of Obama at Legacy Park just a month ago in Las Vegas, December 2021. The address of the park is 1600 Mount Moriah Drive. The address comes to 888. Donald J. Trump is 888. Is an event upcoming that isn't a Trump event, but leads to the Trump event motive 1 week later. My goodness, Michael. My goodness gracious. Now, the 111 we saw in the Ozzy Osbourne commercial, when they clicked that clacker and we did the slow-mo and saw the 111, if he goes down, if Trump goes down on 9/11 and it portals, if he goes down on January 9th, which portals over to 9/11, if he goes down on January 9th, which portals over to January 11th, giving you the 9/11, got what I was going to say. So, but I finally remembered it. The Ozzy Osbourne commercial, the 111. That's 111 could be January 11th. If he died on the 9th and rose on the 11th, he's Iron Man. Straight up, he's Iron Man. Now, he's not going to show himself to the world on the third day when he rises from the abyss, because how do we know he's Iron Man? iPet Goat shows him plugged into the technology. And Satan, with that serpent eye, is peering all around the kid while he's getting the egghead kid while he's getting, that's Trump. Trump's the guy in the boat. He's the egghead kid. He's the whirling dervish with the right eye wound. He's the right eye wound whirling dervish kid before he's a whirling dervish laying in the lady's lap with the black goo. And she's holding up her palm over a volcano. Thank you, Theology Ed, who is still controlled opposition, but you know, you follow what I'm saying, right? Stuff's crazy, man. It gave me 3 choices of thumbnails like it always does. And of course, I'm so glad it was those dudes from the commercial. But I just wanted to clarify that. Let me skim through it real quick, see if there's anything else I wished I'd have talked about. Yeah, it's definitely giving you, I'll tell you what I'm looking at when I see that. I'm seeing the 1 at a much farther distance away from the next 1 and 1. In other words, it's 111. If you notice the 1 in them, because these are not, that's a 0, and that does look like, that looks like a 0, and of course that's a 0 and that's a 0. So you get a 1, a 1, and a 1. The 1 in the middle is closer to the 1 on the right. In other words, it's January 11. If they're telling you that he's Iron Man by January 11th, then he's going down on January 9 on a Sunday. And then on the transfer portal day, he will be portaling, and college football will have their big transfer portal game in Fansville. And then on the third day, after he's portaled, he becomes Iron Man. Shaking My Head Productions did not throw this commercial up here for no reason. There's 1117 right there, popped up on the screen with a 40 when we popped it up. And 40 is God's number for work that has to be done, in my opinion. It's what it's always meant to me. 40 hours in a work week. Jesus had to do the 40 days and 40 nights. The Israelites had to do the 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. 40. Work that's got to be, things that have to be done to accomplish God's work. The thing popped up 11/17/40. Doesn't mean he's going down on them. We just talked about. I'm just telling you how things pop in my head. That's what they mean to me when I see these things, man. Anyway, he's on. That thing to me says 111. He becomes Iron Man. They didn't pop that number up. Y'all know me with numbers, Michael with numbers. They didn't pop that number for no reason. That would be a trip. On a Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday. Michael says he's going down in public. I say he's going down on a golf course. Michael says, you know, to be for all to see. And I'm like, it'll be greeny footage from a surveillance camera at a distance. You know, the JFK gave us the visual, so we don't need another visual. But if they're going to give us another visual, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just telling you how I speculate it. To Michael's credit, by seeing a bloody massacre, like everybody saw those towers fall, that everybody's going to see him fall, then Michael's correct. So I'm just going off some tells that they gave us with Donnie Darko waking up on a golf course. And when Alabama lost, they said, well, Jimbo said he was going to beat you. And they went back to the video over the summer when Jimbo said it. And Saban's response was, beat me in what? Golf? And what's on the cover of Fahrenheit 11/9? Fahrenheit 11/9 cover. It's Trump hitting a golf ball and there's an explosion. So it's not that I think Michael's wrong. It's just that I think that there's too many things pointing to golf. But if his head explodes in front of the whole world, like I was thinking when I was watching every one of his rallies, remember those? After he lost the election, all those rallies, I was watching everyone, I was recording them. So I was like, his head's going to explode in front of everybody. And it still might. But I'm telling you, something about him and golf and the way Groundhog Day connects to the other Bill Murray movie. Caddyshack. There's just too many golf tells with this guy. And the fact that Ms. 88 in my life, as she is affectionately known, is she lives on fairway 15, folks. Can't make it up. Yep. So Sunday's a great day to play golf, isn't it? Sure is. So while the last video was about January 8th, this video is going to be about January 9th in the headline. And now we will get to everybody's comments tomorrow. A ton of Michael's work, and Christian's work, and Charlie's work, and everybody's work. Everybody's putting in work. And if you're not putting in work, you're just as valuable by being here, because your value is to the Lord. So if he's put you here, we're here. We're not sitting in a church. We're just the church. We're communing. We're coming out of the world. We're exposing the world. Every single, if you're a person that's never commented, never even hit the like button. I never asked y'all to hit the like button. Hitting the like button apparently drives it more. Let's don't be silly. My flesh likes looking at the likes. It makes me feel like I'm on the right course. It helps me feel like, you know, there's some, what I'm doing, people are digging it. My flesh likes it. But heck, I'd make these videos just for Chief, Jamie, Justin, and Michael. I'd do these videos for 5 people. But my point was, if you don't ever like, you don't ever comment, but you're watching for the right reasons, you're just as valuable as anybody else. You should have seen the Bible study tonight. Should have seen it. Good Lord, don't play favorites, man. Don't play favorites. I shouldn't say that. There are, you know, there's some certain, I think, when the apostles, yeah, I mean, there's where they get to do, I think, some extra certain things, if I'm not mistaken, in the end, as far as judging. I can't remember. But as a rule, the Lord doesn't play favorites. There's no favorites with our group, I can tell you that. We're the end times. We're the weakest the church has ever been. But we're the strongest link of that chain right here. We're the strongest out of anybody. And we say that all the time. I declare that all the time because of what we do here. So if you're here, the Lord put you here. You're the Lord's. I don't mean to repeat that twice in one night, but I guess I did. So it's too late now. But anyway, we'll get to the rest tomorrow. I love y'all very much. And I mean it. I do love y'all very much.